Have you ever felt your heart quietly arguing with your thoughts, as if two strangers were trying to share one map? What if I told you that within your chest there is an intelligible doorway, a living portal, that, when aligned, brings your emotions into a clear, coherent light? What if I told you that this doorway is not mystical only? It is a practical, embodied method to transform the way you move through life. A profound understanding of emotional intelligence is explored through the lens of heart coherence, offering you a practical pathway to inner harmony. Imagine cultivating a powerful emotional portal within yourself, not as a distant ideal, but as a felt reality, guiding you toward a more integrated and insightful way of being. In this space, your feelings become messengers, not masters. Your intuition speaks with clarity, and every breath becomes a compass pointing home. You have been told your emotions are complex, unpredictable. But what if I told you there's a profound scientific method to bring them into perfect alignment? In this video, we're diving deep into heart coherence, a practice that will challenge your perceptions and fundamentally change how you interact with your own emotional world. Expect hidden secrets, gentle enigmas, and practical tools woven with quiet science and ancient wisdom. Expect reflection that opens like a seed, hope that tastes like morning light, and suspense, because a transformative key waits, and only those who listen fully will recognize it. I hold space for you now. You are not broken, you are becoming. Your suffering is a raw map toward meaning. Each scar is a corridor that can lead to higher awareness when navigated with tenderness. I will speak to your inner seeker as a companion, not as a lecturer. You are the protagonist in this unfolding. Feel that truth settle in the sternum like a warm stone. If this call reaches you, invite the community to rise with you. Subscribe to this channel to keep this light circulating, like the video to acknowledge your presence here, and comment below with a single breath and the phrase, "I choose to awaken my consciousness." Say it aloud if you can. Offer it to the collective field. Even this small commitment shifts vibration and aligns intention with momentum. There are practices, breath patterns, and subtle cues that open this emotional gateway. Some are ancient, some are rooted in modern research. There is also a quieter secret. Coherence grows where intention meets spaciousness. Hold that thought as you breathe. Stay with me. If you are willing to be transformed, to meet your feelings with disciplined compassion, then the door is about to be turned. Ahead, we will confront the challenge, the intrigue that forces us to reframe how emotions serve our awakening. Keep your attention here. The first step is near, and it will reshape how you feel, sense, and choose. Intrigue and challenge hook. You have been told your emotions are complex, unpredictable, that they arrive like storms. Here I invite a different story, that your heart can become a precision instrument, an inner compass that aligns feeling, thought, and choice. This is the core of heart coherence. It is not wishful thinking. It is a practice that trains you to bring the weather of your inner world into a clear, luminous sky. Sit with that. You are the one who has felt the turmoil, who has held pain like a shrouded ember. Now imagine learning a simple, repeatable art that changes how that ember behaves, not by pushing it away, but by tending it with a steady hand. Begin. Settle into a comfortable upright posture. Ground through your sit bones and feet. Soften the jaw. Close the lips lightly. Place one hand over the center of your chest, the other over your lower belly. This is not ritual for show. It is to return attention to the living center that feels and remembers. Practice heart-focused breathing. Breathe gently in through the nose for a count that feels natural to you. 5 to 6 counts is a useful guide, and exhale with the same slow ease. Let the breath be like a tide that rocks the heart. Continue for 3 to 5 minutes. As you breathe, invite a sincere, small feeling. Gratitude for a warm cup of tea, the memory of sunlight on your skin, compassion for your own tiredness. Do not force grandeur. Sincerity matters more than intensity. Now the subtle skill. Name the feeling softly inside. Grateful, relief, sadness. Naming activates the emotional intelligence portal, the place where heart and mind converse. Watch how naming changes the texture of the feeling. It becomes less like a wild animal and more like a messenger you can read. Bring your attention to the body sense of the emotion. Notice temperature, tension, spaciousness. Allow curiosity to examine without judging. This bodily witnessing trains you to sense the signal before stories take over. Over time, this builds an inner calibration. You learn what different pulses mean, and you stop being carried by every high tide of thought. Anchor the state with a compact intention phrase you can carry throughout your day. Something like, I steady my heart, I open to clear feeling. Say it once, aloud or internally, with feeling. Repeat it when you notice agitation. The intention becomes a switch that returns you to coherence, a practical tool for later. When you're triggered, pause and take 3 heart breaths. Name the first feeling. Ask, what does this want me to know? The answer may be quiet. Listen. Journal 1 sentence about what shifted. Small records create a map of your emotional terrain. As you deepen this practice, you will sense a new kind of intelligence. Not intellectual analysis, but wise, embodied knowing that guides choices with less friction. Keep this state gentle. Do not chase a mystical peak. Coherence is a durable calm, a lamp you carry through relationships, decisions, and sorrow. Hold this experience lightly now. In the next passage, we will learn how to translate this heart alignment into a subtle, energetic activation, a bridge that connects your heart's clarity to your inner vision. Stay with the feeling of steadiness as we prepare to go deeper. The heart's resonant breath, listen closely. This is simple, and it is sacred. You are the steward of an inner portal, a living threshold where feeling becomes knowing. When that threshold is coherent, your emotional intelligence moves from chaos into a clear, guiding presence. The heart's resonant breath is a grounded practice to anchor that portal, to let your emotions be wise companions instead of unpredictable storms. Begin by making yourself comfortable. Sit with a straight spine, shoulders softened, feet grounded. Place one hand over your sternum, the other over your lower belly. Close your eyes if it feels safe. For the next minutes, you are the vessel and the witness. Step 1. Center the attention. Gently bring your awareness to the physical heartbeat, the subtle lift of the chest beneath your hand. Do not chase it, simply rest your attention there, as if leaning into a warm, responsive friend. Step 2. The resonant breath. Breathe in through the nose for a smooth count of 4. Pause lightly, like the small quiet between notes, for 2. Exhale through the nose for 6. This 4-2-6 rhythm lengthens the exhale, inviting the nervous system to settle. Repeat for 6 full cycles, then allow the breath to return to a gentle, natural cadence while keeping your attention at the heart center. Step 3. Evoke a heart-quality call forth a sincere, small emotion. Gratitude for a single breath, kindness to a part of yourself that aches, forgiveness that feels possible. Name it softly. Gratitude, kindness, I am sorry, or I forgive. Do not try to manufacture grand feeling. A genuine ember is enough. As you hold that quality, imagine the emotional energy collecting like a warm light at your sternum. Step 4. Anchor the portal. With each exhale, imagine that warm light broadening, weaving a subtle lattice of resonance through your chest. See this lattice as a translucent aperture, not a doorway to be forced open, but a hinge that aligns. Feel your thoughts slow. Notice insights arriving like small, clear bells. This is your emotional intelligence activating. Sensation becomes signal. Signal becomes wise response rather than reflex. Step 5. Integrate. After 10 minutes, bring the practice to close by placing both palms over your heart and whispering a short intention, such as, I listen, I choose. Open your eyes slowly. Allow the coherence you cultivated to trace itself through your day, in decisions, in conversations, in how you steady your body when distress comes. Why this matters? Heart coherence retrains the limbic landscape, creates a felt sense of inner guidance, and aligns subtle physiology with clarity. The practice is both a doorway and a discipline. Repeated minutes build a resonant channel through which emotion becomes intelligence. When you are ready, take this breath into movement. A short walk, a deliberate pause before a call, a hand on another's shoulder, and let the portal you have anchored inform the steps you take. From this quiet coherence, we can then listen to the older rhythms that shape the heart, those ancestral patterns that teach us how to move with the world rather than against it. Anchoring your emotional intelligence portal. Place your hand gently over the center of your chest. Feel the slow rise and fall under your palm. This is not a metaphor. It is the entrance to a living chamber that remembers harmony. You are the keeper of that chamber, and with intention, you can open a quiet doorway, your emotional intelligence portal. Begin with presence. Close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose for 5 counts. Breathe out for 6. Not to control, but to invite depth. With each exhale, imagine the heartbeat widening, like a soft bell expanding its sound. Name one gentle quality: compassion, curiosity, steadiness, and let it tint the breath. You are training the heart to speak in clear tones again. 3-phase practice, 6 minutes total. 1. Ground, 1 minute. Feel both feet on the floor. Sense the weight of your body, the connection to earth. Say silently, "I am held." This lowers the body's emergency response and prepares the heart to receive. 2. Focus, 3 minutes. Hand on heart, inhale 5, exhale 6. Bring to mind a small, vivid instance of kindness. Don't seek grand memories. Choose the one that still glows. Hold that feeling lightly in the chest. If thoughts wander, return to the warmth under your palm. This is the cultivation of coherence, aligning breath, feeling, and rhythm. 3. Integrate, 2 minutes. Expand the circle of that feeling outward. Visualize it pulsing from the sternum into the arms, throat, and face, then beyond the skin into the room. Offer it inward to parts of you that ache, and outward to someone you know needs gentle presence. Practical anchors. Before answering a message, pause for 1 coherence breath. This tiny gap is a doorway to wiser choice. Use the palm on chest anchor throughout the day. 1 breath, 1 soft naming word. Over time, the body will remember how to return. Keep a small journal. Mark moments when you felt cohered and when you did not. Patterns teach you the language of your heart. Signs of activation you may notice: a softening around reactive impulses. Decisions feel less urgent, more spacious. Clearer emotional labeling, you name what's happening without getting swallowed. Subtle inner guidance that arrives as calm curiosity instead of panic or force. A caution: activation is tender work. You may meet old grief or sharp edges. Welcome them with the same breath, without rushing the process. If overwhelm comes, lengthen the grounding phase and ask for support from a trusted friend or mentor. This practice is less about producing constant bliss and more about cultivating a living, intelligent portal, one that receives, discerns, and transforms. As you anchor this coherence, you become a bridge. Your heart learns to translate feeling into wise action. Hold this openness now. Keep the rhythm steady. In the next step, we will gently expand how this portal communicates with your subtle senses, allowing insight to flower without haste. Emotional resonance practice. Tuning the heart as an intelligence portal. Sit so your spine is kind to you. Ground through the sit bones. Close the eyes softly. Bring attention to the space behind your sternum, not a place of effort, but of listening. This is where your emotional intelligence dwells, awaiting an activation that is tender and deliberate. Begin with 3 slow diaphragmatic breaths to settle the nervous system. Inhale through the nose to a count that feels full but easy. Allow the belly to expand, exhale long and unforced. With each out-breath, imagine a small clearing opening in the chest, a quiet room where truth can enter. Now, we will weave breath with attention and subtle tone. Inhale for a count of 6, feeling air arrive as if watering a seed in the center of your chest. Hold for 2 beats, not to control, but to let the sensation deepen. Exhale for a count of 8, and on the exhale, softly let a single hum emerge from the throat, low, warm, like a small bell heard underwater. Repeat this cycle 8 to 12 times. As you hum, direct your attention to the quality of feeling rather than to the content. Notice texture. Is it icy, viscous, bright, or soft? Give whatever arises a gentle name: fear, longing, tenderness, and then imagine it as color or temperature in the chest space. Naming is not judgment, it is recognition. Recognition is the first key. After the 4th cycle, begin a mirror technique within. Silently recall a recent moment that created tension in you. Allow the memory to arise, but hold it at a respectful distance, like a friend on the other side of a window. Bring the hum back to your chest and ask inwardly, what does this feeling want me to know? Wait. Listen without answering. The chest will respond, maybe with an image, a phrase, or a shift in pulse. Trust the small answer. Now transform. With each exhale hum, imagine the previously named feeling moving through the chest lumen like water through a reed. Recognized, acknowledged, then refined. If the feeling is heavy, see it become translucent. If sharp, see it round. You are not solving it, you are alchemizing it with attention and breath. Finish with 3 grounding breaths. Inhale 4, pause 1, exhale 6, and rest hands over the heart for 30 seconds. Feel the subtle ring in the chest, like a tuning fork settling. Place a hand over the sternum and, if helpful, whisper a vow. I listen. I am present. This simple promise stitches the practice into your nervous system. This is an activation of the emotional portal, practical, embodied, and luminous. It trains the heart to become not merely a reactor, but a wise interpreter, an organ that reads signal and intention, maps meaning, and opens a corridor between feeling and insight. Carry this resonance with you as a living skill. Let it be the bridge that turns confusion into clarity and chaos into an awakened kind of care. When you are ready, keep the pulse of this practice as a companion. Let the warmth in your chest guide your next step, steady and bright, as you continue deeper into integration. Heart portal activation, the resonant pause. There is a gate inside you made of feeling, not thought. It is both a muscle and a memory, a quiet intelligence that remembers how to listen. Today, you stand before that gate. I will walk you through a simple, profound practice, the resonant pause, designed to bring your heart into coherent rhythm and to open the emotional intelligence portal that lives there. Begin by finding a gentle, upright posture. Soften the jaw and the throat. Let your hands rest where they naturally fall. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Bring attention to the center of your chest, the space behind your sternum, the place you know as the heart. Not the heart as drama, but the heart as presence. Phase 1, anchor, 2 minutes. Breathe slowly through the nose. Inhale for a slow count of 4, pause gently for 1, exhale for 5. Let the exhale be effortless, like the release of a page turning. As you breathe, imagine your breath entering and leaving through the doorway of your heart. Place a soft, inward smile there, a tiny warmth like a candle waking. Phase 2, name with feeling, 3 to 5 minutes. Recall a recent small moment, the warmth of a stranger's kindness, a pet's nuzzle, a memory that did not trigger drama. Allow the image to come with sensation. Name the feeling with one word, for example, calm, grief, joy, relief. Do not analyze. Feel the shape of the word in your chest. With every inhale, breathe into that feeling. With every exhale, offer it a soft acknowledgement. I feel you. This naming collapses noise, turning chaos into a clear signal. Phase 3, the resonant pause, 5 to 10 minutes. Shift now to a cadence of heart-led breathing. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5, and at the end of each exhale, hold a micropause, nothing forced, a suspended silence of 0.8 to 1 second. That pause is the hinge of coherence. In that micro gap, the mind quiets and the heart's rhythm settles into a steady, luminous pattern. If intrusive thoughts come, treat them like clouds. Observe, release, return to the pause. Phase 4, bridge to intuition, 2 to 3 minutes. As coherence emerges, imagine a thin, luminous thread rising from the heart to the point between the eyebrows, up through the throat, through the space behind the eyes, to the inner light that senses beyond words. It is not effortful, it is recognition. Allow subtle impressions, images, or words to surface. Trust their gentleness. This bridge aligns emotional clarity with subtle knowing, the doorway to deeper guidance. Practical notes. Practice first thing in the morning or before sleep, when the nervous system is malleable. Start with 12 minutes. Over weeks, extend to 20 to 30 minutes when you feel stable. Keep a simple journal, one line about the feeling you began with and one line about what shifted. You are training a portal, not fixing a problem. Each pause is a seed. Each small return to the heart strengthens a new architecture of being, one where feeling informs wisdom and intuition is grounded in compassion. Sit with this resonance now. Let it settle like water finding its level. When you are ready, carry this stillness into your next breath and remain open for what wishes to be seen. Emotional resonance breath, opening the heart's portal. Sit with dignity. Find a seat that supports the length of your spine. Close your eyes gently and place one hand over the center of your chest, the other lightly on your belly. You are the keeper of this moment. This is a gentle practice to attune the intelligence of your heart, not as an idea, but as a living portal that translates feeling into wisdom. You have carried storms. You have learned to armor. Now we will invite a new architecture, soft, resonant, and wise. Begin by softening your face, releasing the jaw. Inhale through the nose for 5 counts. Imagine the breath filling the space beneath your heart like a small, warm lantern. Hold for a brief count of 2, simply noticing. Exhale for 5 counts, and on the exhale, let a low, effortless hum emerge from the chest, a single, sustained tone like the first note of a long corridor. The hum is not forced, it is a natural sonic signature of your heart opening. Repeat this cycle for 6 rounds. With each hum, allow a colorless light to pulse from your sternum, not bright, but clear, like dew held at dawn. As the sound vibrates, feel the tissues around your heart soften. Memories will come, a kindness, a mirror of loss, a small joy. Receive them without judgment. The heart does not fix, it clarifies. Let it clarify what you have been carrying so that the weight becomes language. Now, refine the resonance. After your hum, place your awareness on the beat beneath your hand. Whisper inwardly, in the space between breaths, a simple phrase, I am listening. Not as a command, but as an invitation. Each time you breathe and hum, the phrase loosens the knots formed by fear, by reactivity. You are teaching the nervous system a new grammar, one of attuned response rather than reflex. If strong emotion arises, stay with it, but do not identify with its story. Breathe toward it as toward a child at the edge of a river, steady, present, and unafraid. Lengthen your out-breath by 1 count when the emotion feels overwhelming. The hum will carry the surge through tissue and nerve, sound grounds feeling into form. Practice this sequence for at least 6 minutes daily. In the beginning, morning or right before sleep are honorable times, when the veil between inner and outer is thin. As coherence develops, extend to 12 or 20 minutes, or break the practice into 3 shorter sessions during your day. Before a meeting, after difficult conversation, when you awaken with dread. Small rituals compound. You are wiring your heart to become a reliable portal of emotional intelligence. Every repetition builds a subtle architecture, neural pathways that favor clarity, cardiac rhythms that calm the endocrine cascade, and an inner frequency that attracts clarity in relationship. You will notice your reactions soften, your discernment sharpen. The portal is not a magic gate that removes pain. It is a lens that reveals what to tend and what to release. When you finish, sit in silence for 3 breaths. Keep your hand on your chest and listen to the residual hum, the echo of coherence. Thank the heart for its labor. Slowly open your eyes and carry the vibration like a talisman. Let this practice widen the doorway inside you, preparing your field for deeper integration and wiser presence. Stay with the feeling. The Emotional Intelligence Portal, a practical activation for heart coherence. You have felt the tug between reason and feeling. You have been taught to hide what trembles. Now imagine that within your chest sits a quiet gateway, not fragile, but finely attuned, awaiting your invitation. This is your emotional intelligence portal. It can be opened with a few deliberate, soulful choices. Begin by settling into stillness. Sit softly, feet grounded. Let your shoulders ease like sea glass settling into sand. Place your left hand over the center of your chest, your right hand lightly above the space between your eyebrows. This is not ritual for show. It is a simple map. Heart beneath, inner sight above. Step 1. The braided timing. Breathe in for a count that feels easy. Breathe out for a count 2 beats longer. Repeat 5 times. With each exhale, imagine the rhythm braiding together: heartbeat, breath, attention, creating a single steady current. Keep your focus at the place beneath your left hand. Feel warmth. You are teaching your heart to speak in a language your nervous system can hear. Step 2. The naming of tones. Softly vocalize a single vowel that resonates in your chest, an ah or an o that lands like a pebble in still water. Let it be low and human. Do this 3 times on the out-breath. As you sound, notice any color or texture that rises in the chest. A gray pebble, a bright glass shard, a slow tide. Name it without judgment. Saying the feeling aloud to yourself turns raw energy into intelligible signal. You are converting emotion into data the soul can read. Step 3. The micro-shift of attention. On the next exhale, lift the focus from the heart to the narrow point between the brows, like a lantern beam traveling along a cord. Do this gently, without forcing. Hold for 1 breath. Return to the heart. Repeat this shuttle 5 to 7 times. Each crossing strengthens the channel that links feeling to vision. You are training the nervous pathways to translate emotion into clear insight. Step 4. Gentle resonance check. Place your fingertips lightly on your sternum and feel for the subtle vibration of your heartbeat. Match your inner voice to the pace you feel. If the chest feels jagged, breathe longer out. If it feels flat, hum slightly higher. The work is intimate. Small corrections refine the portal. Step 5. Integration. Pause. Rest both hands on your knees. Allow all sound to dissolve into silence. Sense how the heart feels now, more ordered, more spacious, more listening. Breathe 3 soft breaths and silently tell yourself, I am learning the language of my heart. This phrase anchors the activation. Practice this sequence for 5 to 20 minutes daily. Over time, the heart's field will tidy itself. Your emotional reactions become messages rather than storms. Your third eye, once distracted, begins to receive clearer impressions because the heart is sending a coherent signal. Sit a moment longer. Notice how being present with your own feeling changes the atmosphere around you. When you are ready, keep this gathered steadiness as you move forward. The next layer will invite you to translate these resonant messages into compassionate action. So allow the portal to steady now. Heart gate resonance, activating the emotional intelligence portal. Sit quietly. Place one hand over your heart, the other resting softly on your belly. Close the eyes as if closing a door behind anxiety. You are the holder of this moment. You are the one who will open the gate. Begin with slow breathing. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, soft and rounded. Feel the breath arrive into the area beneath your sternum, not just your lungs. Imagine the breath as a gentle tide that washes the inner shore. With each exhale, invite the chest to soften. With each inhale, create a little more space. Now shift your attention from breath to feeling. Call to mind a small, genuine emotion, not an epic memory, but a simple warmth, the color of sunlight on your palm, the taste of kindness. Let that feeling sit like a pebble in the center of your chest. Breathe rhythmically around it. Do not chase more. Do not analyze. Hold it like you would a fragile seed. As you stabilize this rhythm, notice the heart's subtle rhythm aligning with the breath. This is heart coherence. It is not mystical trickery. It is a resonance you can train. Imagine an inner aperture opening at the center of your chest, an opening that senses, refines, and translates emotions into clarity. This is your emotional intelligence portal. It responds to steady breath, soft attention, and tender acceptance. Practice the following sequence for 10 minutes. 1. Ground. Feel your weight and the contact points with the chair or floor for 30 seconds. 2. Breath into heart. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Keep the hand on the heart. 3. Evoke a genuine feeling. Gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, one simple tone. 4. Name it silently. This is gratitude or this is tiredness. Naming lets the portal recognize and organize. 5. Breathe with the name. Watch the emotional tone become less storm and more instrument. When strong feelings arise, fear, grief, anger, do not suppress them. Bring them to the portal as you would bring a wounded bird to a healer. Ask, what does this want me to know? Hear the body's answer as sensation, not story. Breathe into that sensation until it loosens its grip and shows its lesson. Repeat naming. Allow the portal to translate intensity into insight. After the practice, take 90 seconds to journal a single line, the emotion you met, the phrase it offered, and one small action you will take. This trains the pathway from felt awareness to wise response, the hallmark of emotional intelligence. For deeper alignment, with eyes closed and heart-coherent breathing, very softly lift your inner gaze toward the small space between your eyebrows. Do this like aligning two lenses, the heart's aperture and the inner sight. Do not strain. Feel only a gentle connection. This ties the emotional portal to subtle perception, helping the heart guide the clearer seeing of the mind. Bring this practice into your day. 10 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes when overwhelmed, and a quiet minute before sleep will reshape how you respond. You are not trying to eliminate emotion. You are learning to steward it, turning raw impulses into wise currents that serve your life. When you are ready, carry this resonance forward. Let the portal remain a living instrument, ready to translate feeling into guidance. Stay present and breathe into the next layer of activation with the same tenderness. You did it. You stayed. You listened with more than your ears. You listened with that wise, felt center inside your chest that already knows the language of truth. Congratulate yourself. This is not small. Choosing presence, Choosing to face the tides of feeling and to bring them into coherence is an act of courage and devotion. You are disciplined. You are chosen by your own willingness. Let that sink in. What you cultivated here is not an abstract idea, but a living portal. Has an emotional intelligence gateway that will continue to open each time you return to your heart with gentle attention. Imagine your chest like a tuning chamber, a sacred room where the turbulence of the world becomes ordered into light. Each moment you bring steadiness to your beat, you sharpen insight, you quiet noise. You invite the subtle clarities of intuition and the soft stirrings of the third eye to harmonize with the pulse of compassion. Remember, heart coherence is not about fixing or rejecting feeling. It is about inviting integration. When your inner weather is coherent, your nervous system relaxes, your mind opens, and your perception becomes luminous. You begin to sense more than thought can name, a knowing that moves through the body like clear water, revealing stones of truth you once stumbled over. This is how emotional intelligence becomes a portal, through the alchemy of attention, steadiness, and kind presence. Share this offering. If this practice touched you, subscribe now to stay part of this growing field of seekers. Share this with someone who needs a steadying hand, a friend whose heart calls for shelter and exploration. Comment below with your proof of commitment. Write the phrase, "My heart's coherence guides my awakening." Let your words be a promise to yourself and to the collective. As you step back into the world, carry this image, you as a lantern bearer, lighting another flame with your breath. Each coherent heartbeat is a little steady flame that brightens the room for others. When you hold yourself with patience and clarity, you are lighting a path for those who fear the dark. You are not separate from the healing you wish to see. The inner shift ripples outward, subtle, true, unstoppable. If doubts come, greet them kindly. If old pain stirs, anchor in the breath and remember the chamber of coherence you have opened here. Let this practice be a soft habit, a return to home, rather than a demand. You are learning to inhabit your feelings with grace, to steer your attention like a lighthouse beam across the fog. Now before you move, remain still. Let the music continue. Close your eyes if you can. Rest your hands over your heart. Breathe slowly and receive the energy you have stirred. Feel gratitude for your being, for the path, for the courage that brought you here. Stay in this silence for as long as the music asks of you. When you are ready, carry this presence forward, step by gentle step.